What is going on, Fire Legion? Josh Fullenweider here, and I am here to talk to you about my favorite social media platform. So, I typically stick to three primary social media platforms, but I use each one differently. Facebook is strictly my stalking tool for my friends that I've had forever. I get on Facebook. I don't post a lot directly to Facebook anymore. I use it more to connect with friends and family, and that's about it. And then Instagram, I love my Instagram because I post pictures and I don't have a lot of my friends and family following me, which is great because then I don't have to be self-conscious if I post a gym selfie. I'm feeling good and I'm all hot and sweaty and gross and looking and everything, but I just crushed a gym goal or something like that and I want to put it out there. I don't have to be too self-conscious about it. And I like Instagram because I actually like all the nature photos that are out there. All the travel photos, I should say, not just strictly the nature ones. So, I really like Instagram for that. But my number one favorite one for business right now is currently LinkedIn, which everybody goes, ugh, what a boring platform. I mean, it's gross. It's like all grown up and salesy and bleh. And that's true. There's a lot of bad things about LinkedIn, about the people who use LinkedIn, and salespeople give it a terrible name. They just straight up do, because most people don't know how to use it right, or they're trying to get too much out of it. Or I should say, they're trying to get too much out of it without putting enough work into it. I will say for businesses, I have Facebook and Instagram business profiles for businesses. Obviously, the Fire Legion group is on Facebook, which is, again, a great tool to connect. Then I have a Twitter for Drip Bar, which is kind of cool, but the Drip Bar managed account did that for me. I'm not a tweeter, so take it for what it's worth. I have not been happy with the level of conversations I've seen on Twitter. They all feel very negative to me, so I just have never gotten very involved in Twitter. I will say I like Pinterest. I don't know why. I'm not a soccer mom or anything like that, but I like looking up projects and pinning them, looking up cool art and pinning it. But my favorite, getting back to my favorite platform of LinkedIn, I really like LinkedIn because it allows you to connect with people, target specific people that you want to in order to connect with them. And especially now, because we're still at the tail end of the pandemic. God, I hope it's the tail end of the pandemic. When I'm filming this, it is the end of February 2021. So if you're all still in lockup in 2 years and you point back to this and say, Josh said we were at the tail end. Sorry, I'm hoping we're at the tail end. But I will say LinkedIn was a tool I started using in banking to connect with people that I met at networking events, customers that I had, other people in the banking world that I was meeting. It was a way to help enhance those in-person relationships, which I really found valuable to just, back then I was probably posting once or twice a month on LinkedIn as to what I was doing, just trying to keep people, build up my brand on LinkedIn is what I was doing back then, and getting that information to the people I knew and helping to establish that trust that people had in me or were looking for in a banker. So that's what I used LinkedIn back then for. I'd repost relevant articles and then do about one article or post myself each month. And I will say I didn't have a whole lot of traction, but I did know people were looking at it and aware of me back then. Pandemic time, starting a business, I actually took some additional classes and training and read a book on LinkedIn and how to use it, and realized that there's a lot more tools even at the free level that you can use. So I was able to use those tools and really expand my network a lot by targeting people right now based on searching for different terms for different types of entrepreneurs in my area, in the northern Colorado area where I'm at here. I was able to combine some search terms and really hone in on some people that I either thought would be my target audience for my company, or would be potentially partners in referral sources, things like that, that we might have some common clientele. So that was really interesting. So I really got into it, and in 2 months I was able to triple my LinkedIn following by just sending blanket empty messages. I didn't even tell people, hi, this is who I am, or anything like that. I just said connect. Are you somebody that I want to connect with? Yes, connect. And I hit the connect button. Do you want to send a message with your connection request? Nope. Off it went. So tripled my number of connections, which actually led to several good conversations, as well as a lot of new people liking, and at the very least they were seeing my posts. A previous post might get 50 views on it if I was lucky, and now the views of posts, and I like that it shows you how many times your posts are viewed, gets several hundred views, 400 or 500 views without a problem. Comments went from nothing to a handful of comments. Likes went from 2 to 30. So just through all those adding all those connections and everything like that. So just making people aware of what I was doing. What I do not do on LinkedIn, and I absolutely hate when people do to me, is I don't do those spam messages that come out of a tin can. They're a script, and they're just copying and pasting it. They're connecting with you for no reason, and they think that half the time they don't even do their research as to what you actually do. They say, oh, hi, my name's so-and-so, and I was looking at your profile and realized that I help healthcare entrepreneurs with issues just like yours. Would you like to schedule a free 30-minute phone consultation? I know nurses in the area that you could work with, or whatever it is, and half the time they don't apply. Why somebody would pick an accountant based off of a blanket LinkedIn request like that is beyond me. It must work because they keep doing it, or either that, or they're just being told to do it, and it's just new people doing it who have no clue on actually what they're doing. So that's really annoying. But you can always kind of tell when somebody sends you a connection request like that. So I don't do that. I don't, but when I connect with somebody, I try to, when their posts come up, I try to like them. If it's really important or something I can weigh in on, I try to comment on it, because people are out there just like me, trying to build their following, their brand, and their connections. And the more like, comments, and shares that they get, just like me, it boosts them in rankings, and spreads their message further. So it spreads the message to their, if somebody likes my post on LinkedIn, now their friends see it on their post, on their feed. So that's kind of cool. So I always appreciate when people like my posts on LinkedIn, because it immediately, almost doubles the amount of people that are going to see it. Sharing, of course, is great. Obviously, you get more views on it that way, but comments go a long way. And I always try, anybody that comments on my stuff, I always comment back. I try to make sure that I respond to their comments, and then I also try to make sure that when their posts come up, I add comments to them, because it is nice. It boosts both of our brands. And I know there are LinkedIn groups out there you can join where the whole point is to just generate that among each other, so everybody comments on each other's posts, everybody likes each other's posts, and And those ones you'll find are super annoying, and the comments are super generic and annoying. But they do exist out there. So next, after I went through and just kind of selected everybody and hit connect, I went back through and got much more selective on who I was researching and looking for and everything like that. And then, if I didn't think, if it was somebody that I already tried to connect with, but they'd either denied my request or didn't respond to my request, once I'd had the waiting period where I could send another request to them, I did add a message, and I just said, really, it was just something simple like, "Hi, I see we're working in the same industry in the same town. We're both working in the health related field in this town in northern Colorado, Fort Collins, in case you guys don't know where I'm at. I don't want to sell you anything. I just want to connect with you because we're doing the same thing." And that helped get. So I've only been doing that one for a little bit with some people because I got such a good response to the first go around that I haven't really needed it. But out of the 10 people that I've sent that follow-up message like that to, 6 or 7 of them then, accepted a connection request. So anyway, have I gotten sales off of LinkedIn? No. But when I was looking to hire people, I did get some inquiries about it, got a lot of reshares when I said I was hiring that. Which brings me up the other thing. What should you be sharing on LinkedIn? Don't share crap. And I'm not supposed to cuss in these videos, so that one's gonna have to get edited out maybe. Maybe I'll leave it in there because a lot of people do. They share junk on LinkedIn. It's worse than the people that used to take pictures of their dinner and post it on Facebook. They're like, "Oh, look at my company. We are the best at this. Call and schedule a free consultation today." No, nobody's clicking on that and nobody's commenting on that for a reason. It's boring and it's salesy. I don't immediately, if you're sitting at home and you've still got a TV where you actually have to watch commercials, you're not sitting there and going, "Oh, look, there's a Coca-Cola commercial. I'm going to immediately call them and tell them that I want to buy a Coca-Cola." No, that's not what you do. Yes, you're building awareness, but it's probably the worst way to build awareness because you're not getting those likes, comments, and shares on it. So you're really only reaching a handful of people, and then it's immediately, because of the algorithm, it's immediately no longer being shared. It gets pushed to the bottom of the feed. So you need to share stuff that is relevant and interesting so that people like, comment, and share on it early on, so that continually then it gets pushed to the top of the feed for more and more people. Even amongst your own feed, if it's seen by 20 people in your own feed right within 10 minutes of you posting it, and nobody does anything with it, the next 20 people that are in your own circle might not even get to it because it's going to drop lower and lower and lower. So share interesting things. So on my LinkedIn recently, I shared a lot about my journey with my book, but that one was hard because I didn't have really good pictures with it. But I did get some good responses and feedback, and people, just saying congratulations on publishing your book. Then with the drip bar in particular, I've been posting progress pics every week or every 2 weeks. I think every 2 weeks I've been going in and taking pictures of the space as we continue to build it out. And those have gotten a lot of traffic, and I just, it's maybe 5 pictures that people can scroll through and see what's happening and kind of the process of what's been going on with that. And I just put, a couple of sentences on the progress that's being made in there. And then I use hashtags. LinkedIn is one of the platforms that definitely promotes the use of hashtags on there. Facebook's not a good one for hashtag use, is what I've heard. But Instagram and LinkedIn are really big on the hashtags. I think Twitter is too, but like I said, I never use Twitter. So anyway, that's how I use LinkedIn. Oh, I have written articles on LinkedIn that also when I was in banking, which is kind of like blogging, but on LinkedIn. That didn't really get the response or anything that I really wanted out of it. I will say that I know more people in professional capacities, and I don't consider myself as an entrepreneur to be a professional. I'm talking more CPAs, financial advisors, doctors, researchers, those types of professions where you're really trying to build your credibility in a particular subject matter. I've seen a lot of them publish articles or video articles, something like that, that the point of that is a little bit different. Yes, they might get some likes and comments on it, but what they are also doing is that when they're going and talking to other people, they can refer them back to what they've published as a source of credibility. So it might keep in mind that's not necessarily something you're going to get a whole lot of likes, comments, and shares on, but it is something that helps build your personal credibility quite a bit. And when people go to research you, they might go, oh, look, this doctor that I'm thinking about, or this nutritionist that I'm thinking about going to for a weight loss program, they've written, 20 articles on LinkedIn in the last year. They must know what they're talking about, or they're at least keeping up on research and everything like that. And people can then use that as kind of a research tool for you. Whether those get read, probably not, but it is impressive to have 20 articles written out there. You can get really nuanced in a lot of it. I will say I've never paid for LinkedIn. I've only ever used the free version. There's so much you can do with the free version if you do it well that I don't think you need the paid version. Maybe I'll use it at some point if I ever feel like it, but it just feels too expensive for what you get out there right now. Oh, one thing, advertisements. LinkedIn is not like Facebook. Facebook, for a few dollars you can get a Facebook ad and it's pushed out to a handful of people. LinkedIn doesn't do that. They require a much bigger ad spend on there, and they do it for a very particular reason, is that they don't want junky ads. So I'm sure you've seen Facebook and somebody's been like, wanting to do something on their personal level, and they're like, oh, come buy my course, and all of a sudden you might have, Googled Tony Robbins one time, and now all of a sudden your Facebook feed is filled with self-help gurus all wanting you to buy their course. And you're like, who are these people? They seem legitimate, they've got a website, everything like that, but the ads are kind of junky. That we don't know who this person is. There's no credibility behind it. Then you go over to LinkedIn, and it's LinkedIn, and there's maybe some big name investment houses that are trying to attract your attention. Microsoft's got some of their own advertising on there, and it's all big name companies that are out there, and it's because their ad spend requirements are much higher than Facebook. Facebook might generate a lot of ad revenue because they're capturing all these tiny ads for a low price, but LinkedIn doesn't want to do that. They don't want to be a junky advertising place. They want it to be professional because they are a place for professionals. So don't be thinking that you're just going to go, with a few dollars, you're going to buy a LinkedIn ad. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it today. Each platform definitely has their own uses and benefits and everything like that. I told you about the 3 that are my primary ones that I like. But as far as being in any sort of professional capacity, whether you're an entrepreneur or a gig employee or a contractor or anything like that, or a financial advisor in a bigger firm. You could be just like I was in commercial banking. I worked for another company, but I used it definitely to build my own brand out and to attract some clients, because I did attract a few people with my LinkedIn while I was in banking. So that's where I'm going to leave it today. I went on a bit of a rant. Sorry that this didn't have a whole lot of funny stuff in it this time around. And it probably was boring for those of you that really don't like LinkedIn, but I do believe there's quite a bit of value in it. So if you choose to use it, don't be one of those salespeople. That's all I got to say is don't be one of those people that just spams your inbox with junk. Because that's the quickest way to get disconnected. All right, that's all I got for you today, Fire Legion. You all have a great day.
Hey Legionaries, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like, comment, and share, I'd appreciate it. Let me know what type of topics you'd like to see covered in future videos.